The Stockholm Syndrome is a psychological phenomenon where hostages or victims develop a bond or positive feelings towards their captors. In this situation, the victims are literally on survival mode. This is a survival mechanism where they feel like they just need to be on the side of the people who are harming them. There's an emotional connection. Now, the question is, where did this name come from? And this syndrome was named after a bank robbery in Stockholm, Sweden in 1973, where the hostages defended their captors. Now, with this syndrome, there is an emotional bond. And today I'm going to be literally breaking it down because it sounds like such a big word. And I find that people are often confused as to what this is. Some people don't even know that such a thing exists. It's very uncommon. It's not something that happens to a lot of people, but it does happen. Now, the exact nature and underlying psychological mechanisms are still a subject of debate with experts as to, okay, is this what it is? Is there a diagnosis for this? This is still a subject of debate as it's quite complex. Now, I find, like I said earlier, that there is a confusion where people will call things a Stockholm syndrome. So, for example, an abused woman who got into an abusive relationship based off the fact that she's been abused several times, where it seems like this is what it should be like. I remember sharing my story where I was in an abusive relationship, and at that point in time, I saw what this guy was doing as normal because I had dealt with physical and verbal abuse for years on from a man as well. And I thought this was normal, that men would just abuse women. I didn't know anything different. But I did get out of that relationship when I saw that it wasn't healthy. Now, this is not Stockholm syndrome at all. Okay, I was just in a relationship where this was a narcissist man who didn't care. He was abusive verbally, emotionally, and I was attracted to this man based off the wrong things. But when I saw that it was not healthy, I had the strength, the boldness to walk away. This is not Stockholm syndrome. What is Stockholm syndrome? Stockholm syndrome will literally be a situation where, again, let me give an example. A woman is in a relationship, let's say an abusive relationship, violent, domestic abuse is probably hitting her, doing all of these things, emotionally, physically, verbally abusing her. And she doesn't want to leave. So everybody knows she's going through this thing. And you're all saying, listen, you need to leave this space. You need to get a safe space for yourself. If there are children involved, you need to get a safe space. And you find this woman giving excuses for this person that is abusing her day in, day out. So you'll find her saying, no, he's not that bad. He was just going through a bad day. No, I can manage it. They find themselves unable to emotionally detach from themselves from the abusers, from the people that are holding or keeping them hostage. And this is where you know that there is a big problem, because the only thing that this woman is thinking of is the times where, even though he hit her, he came back to apologize. She's remembering, oh, but he buys me gifts. She's thinking, oh, he pays my bills, because she doesn't have that sense of security in herself to believe that she has the ability to survive on her own. So she believes that if she stays in this relationship, though abusive, that the pain will reduce. She's listening to him saying, I'm going to change. I'm sorry this happened. I will never do this again. This is the only thing she's remembering. She remembers only the good things and how he begs. And now the dangerous thing about this syndrome is, even if you take this woman out of this home, out of this situation, and you take her to a safe space, if she has a phone, if she has the ability to move, I promise you, She will either call this person and start pleading and saying things like, oh, I don't know why they did this. I didn't want to leave you. It wasn't me. I'm coming back. You'll find her saying things like this. Or if she has the ability to move, you just find her in that home again. And if possible, she might even start begging this person. Now, do you get what I mean? That this is a syndrome that should not be taken lightly, because obviously this woman is not in the right state of mind. She has this syndrome where she doesn't know how to detach herself from something that is obviously not serving her. She just feels the need to be emotionally attached to this person. And the truth is, it's a stressful and traumatic situation. It's a this person is in a survival mechanism. This could have happened due to different reasons. Because you're probably wondering, how will a normal human being, want to stay with someone who is blatantly disrespecting and abusing her? And it could be that in the past she's trusted people and she's been let down. It could be that this is all she's known all her life. This is probably her first boyfriend who then married her. This is all she knows. And she's probably heard her parents say, in marriage, you just need to endure. She sees people saying, endure, you don't walk away. And, she's probably a Christian who hears divorce is a sin. There are a lot of things that are playing in the mind of this kind of woman. Now, the question is, how do I help such a woman? Because we can't leave her in such an unfavorable situation. Number one, you need to separate her from her abuser by all means. And when I say separate, disconnect every form of communication. Change her SIM card if you need to. Change her phone. Make sure she doesn't have his number. Cut her from every social media account, her Instagram, her YouTube, whatever can gain her access to this abuser again. You need to disconnect. And the thing is, it might look like a very harsh and rash thing to do, but in situations like this, you need to become very hard because you really want to help this person. In this point, in this moment, it looks very unfair, it looks very unkind, but trust me, this person will be grateful at the end of the day, because right now they are not seeing clearly, they are not hearing clearly. So you need to separate them. Forceful separation is what you have to do. Make sure that they are far away. If possible, take them out of that city. Don't keep them in the same city. Ensure that there is total separation. Now, when this person is separated, what you do in this moment, in this season of separation, is so important, because it's just like addiction. This is a sobriety journey and it needs to be handled with care. Now, when you separate this woman, get her therapy, get her into counseling, get her to see a doctor, because she will or might fall into depression, because now she's like, why are people, she sees you all who are helping her right now as the enemy. So you need to get her help. She needs therapy, she needs counseling to help her see herself the way God sees her, to help her see and understand that she can live a fruitful or good life, married with children, without being abused. That abuse is not a way to cope with life. Okay, she must understand that even though marriage is a good thing and God approves of it, marriage does not define her as a woman. There is so much more. She needs to see that this abuse is stopping her from living a fulfilled life. So it has to do with a lot of inner work. Okay, and in therapy, you might have to go through the psychodynamic route, which is where you're helping her to see and get into her past experiences, which might be painful, but you need her to see the pain in all that she experienced, because right now she's not seeing the pain. So you need her to see that it was painful, it wasn't good for her. So she needs to get into that space where she can really see that she was in pain and it was no way healthy. Now, it's important that through this journey, you must understand that it's not going to be easy. This is not something that gets fixed in 3 months, 6 months. It might take a year, it might take 2. It will require a lot of patience. It will require you not getting tired of her and just saying, you know what, it's been for too long, I'm tired of this. This will not help her, because again, you are confirming to her that, listen, that is the only person I can trust, because even though he hit me, he didn't throw me out. He was still paying the bills. He was there for me, but you guys are saying you want to help me, but you're quitting on me. This is where the problem's coming. It's not just about getting them out. We need to get them safe. And this is why I'm sharing this video today, because we need to bring awareness to these situations. Not every woman that is in an abusive relationship just doesn't want to leave. Sometimes it's possible that this person has the Stockholm syndrome, where she doesn't have the ability to walk out on her own. And this is where we come in as a community to help one another. Pay for therapy, get the person out, pray for them, be a support system. Whatever you do, please don't keep quiet. If you don't have the capacity to help them as you would want to, get them help in whatever capacity that you can. There is always something that we can do in that situation. And remember, for God to bring it to your attention, it means that there's something in there that He wants you to contribute to. So don't turn a blind eye. Don't say, I can't be bothered, because you never know. It might be your sister tomorrow. It might be your daughter tomorrow. You never know. Let's come together as a community to help our own. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you at the next one.